Despite spending money for fun, a huge bid for our striker doesn't come. The defender who has stepped out of line has his ban extended, as well as a huge fine. And just as the club has saved face, the pursuers refuse to give up the chase. The good, the bad and the ugly at Liverpool FC during the international break. Brought to you by the LFC File. Welcome back everyone, and thanks for stopping by. This is just a quick international break version, let's say, of the good, the bad and the ugly at Liverpool FC. I'm not actually going to cover any international news actually, to be honest, but it's just while the break's on, I thought I'd offer a quick update. So remember, if you want to follow the blog, it's available on Facebook, Instagram, and of course X. And without further ado, let's get into it with the good. And of course this week there's not that much to report, but I'd say it's still the fact that Mo Salah is still a Liverpool player. News came out, of course, that Liverpool rejected what seems to be a verbal bid of 150 million quid or something along those lines. And there was a rumour that the Saudi club Al-Ittihad were going to follow that up with a £200 million plus bid for the player. And as you can see here, Paul Gorsk at The Echo, one of their more reasonable stories in recent times, let's say, with the headline here: Liverpool braced for new Mohamed Salah transfer offer as £200 million bid mooted. It doesn't seem as if anything actually materialised at the end of the day. So this is obviously just paper talk and speculation. But Mr. Gorsk goes on to say Liverpool will resist a last-ditch attempt from Al-Ittihad to sign Mohamed Salah as the Saudi Arabian champions make a final day play before their transfer deadline. So it seems for now that Mo Salah is still a Liverpool player and will remain so for the foreseeable future. Yeah, this one, we'll see how it develops, but it looks as if, yeah, Mo Salah may not be a Liverpool player for the seasons to come. So the bad this week has got to be Virgil van Dijk, bless him, having his ban extended for another match. So he was banned for the Villa game, as we all know, for his sending off in the Newcastle game with a very innocuous foul, it has to be said, against what's his name, Isaac, isn't he, who plays for Newcastle. So now it looks as if the big Dutchman is going to be suspended for the Wolves game as well this weekend. Yeah, what can you do, c'est la vie. And as we all know, as we can see here with the Mail Online, Lewis still heads with Virgil van Dijk is banned for another match and fined £100,000 for using abusive and insulting language towards John Brooks after labelling the referee's decision to send him off against Newcastle as a fucking joke. Yeah, you can understand his frustration, but of course at the end of the day using this kind of language is not allowed. And Mr. Still goes on to say Virgil van Dijk has been banned for one further match and fined £100,000 for using abusive and insulting words to match officials following his sending off at Newcastle a fortnight ago. So the Liverpool captain was shown a straight red card for denial of a goal scoring opportunity when fouling Newcastle's Alexander Isaac, blah, blah, blah. We all know what happened. So yeah, shame there. We see how Liverpool lines up against Wolves. It's looking like Matip and Gomez will continue their central defensive pairing in the game against Wolves. Young Joel Quansah, who has acquitted himself very well when he's been called upon for the last couple of games, may even be in line for a start. You never know. I'd like to see him given a chance against what some would disrespectfully call lesser opposition. And with that, we move swiftly on to the ugly. The ugly this week is simply that the Saudi Arabian side Al-Ittihad will continue to pursue Mo Salah. So it's quite likely that this £200 million bid, if ever there was one, may well materialise in January. And the Egyptian king could well depart. However, I believe Liverpool will stand firm unless, of course, they have a replacement. And you never know, if there is someone that they've been having discussion with, you would like to think in the light of recent events, they've probably got their little black book out. Or of course, if they're in modern times, they've opened their database and made an SQL query. They would have maybe found one or two possible replacements. So let's see. Liverpool do have a habit of surprising us with their transfers. Hopefully they can do the same in January. Will Salah move? This is also another question. Yeah, he seems to be fairly tight-lipped on it. It's always difficult to know how these things are going to pan out. I tend to err on the side that he's likely going to go. At his age, if Liverpool can get a replacement, 200 million quid or even 150 million quid, see you later, Mo. It's been a pleasure. And then welcome whoever. It's not the end of the world. A blip in Liverpool's illustrious history. What more can I say? And that brings us swiftly to the end of this week's episode. There's no fantasy football this week. I've made a couple of transfers, but I'm not going to go into that now. All that's left to say is enjoy the rest of the week. I'll be back again next week. Of course, we've got the game against Wolves, which is the early game on Saturday. So that's nice. Not having to wait until Sunday at 5:30 and everything. So yeah, it's nice that Liverpool are playing early for a change on Saturday. So thanks for coming by. That's it for this week. Remember, you can follow the blog on Facebook, Instagram, and of course, X. Thanks very much again, and of course for the new subscribers, there's been a few come on board last week, so thanks very much, guys. And if you haven't done it, remember to hit that like, subscribe button, and of course the notification bell. So take care of yourselves, everyone. Thanks again for coming along, and until next week, you're a FC file.